Конечно, победить я еду.
That was a serious answer. For sure, I'm going to beat Levan.
Artyom Morozov is set to face off against Levan Saginashvili at East vs. West 8 in July, and as you just heard, he's confident. Let's do a quick refresher on what this young athlete has been up to in East vs. West and how he landed himself a match against the King.
Okay, 1 second. When you pull Revas, now you are more than that much, your form,
Yes.
and now you have 4 months to July. So if you are 100 when Revas, now you are 125 till July, maybe 150.
Maybe 160.
Wow. you serious? Yeah?
Yes.
Real?
Yes.
So Morozov is saying he will be in 60% better form against Levan than he was in his most recent match against Revaz. And that's really the story here. It's one of progress, and we're starting with his match against Yevgeny Prudnik all the way back at East vs. West 2. Artyom would start with a top roll attack which would be contained by Prudnik, and the match would find its way into a hook where Prudnik is perfectly happy to be and gets the pin. After a slip in round 2, we'd make our way to the straps. Artyom would attempt another top roll and then started hitting to the side with a lot of force and unfortunately suffered an injury and had to concede the round. We got a shot of him in the corner trying to take care of that injury as best as possible on the spot. He'd give one more valiant effort before realizing that something's not right and decided to concede the match. After some time off, he'd come back stronger than ever at East vs. West 3 and get a sweep victory over Derek Smith. He wouldn't have much time to celebrate because at the next event, East vs. West 4, Artyom would face off against, well, I'll let Don do it.
Easy money, Dave Chafee.
And here's where things get interesting. Round 1 went to the straps, and Dave would top roll Artyom without too much difficulty. But now watch what happens round 2. Artyom supinates more, going wrist on wrist, but Chafee hits to the side, but doesn't get the pin. And look at this spot here. Artyom is holding off Dave Chafee half an inch, a few millimeters from the pad, and he's holding, and holding, and holding, and starting to bring the match back, but Dave gets one more surge in and gets the pin. I think the commentary here nails it.
That was a war. These guys are in the thick of it now. Morozov has proven that he deserves to be on that table with Dave Chafee.
He would make an even bigger statement on round 3, where he cracks the wrist of Dave Chafee and gets the pin. Round number 4 would look much the same, with another smooth top roll attack from Artyom, getting another win and tying the match 2-2. Silver bullet round time, and the match is going to start a bit inside, and then Chafee sends it to the side with a bunch of hand, but the brachialis and bicep of Morozov is enough to get a stop, and now Morozov is going to begin the offensive of his own. Dave Chafee comes up a bit, tries to recover, but Morozov just gets even tighter, one more surge, and he gets the victory. That win set the arm wrestling world abuzz, and Artyom is really making a name for himself. We're now at East vs. West 5, and Artyom will be facing off against Revaz Lutidze, and it's going to be a tough one. As promised, round 1 starts off in a hook, and Revaz is on the offensive, hitting relentlessly. But just like before, we are seeing the strength of Artyom's bicep and brachialis, his elbow flexors, and ability to get stops right above the pin pad, and then transition on the offense, trying to get Revaz palm up, but can't quite do so. We are dead center here, no one really with an advantage, but Revaz has already surged and might be gassing. Here's a big push by Artyom, and he gets the pin and lets out a roar. You just love to see passion like this from the athletes. However, a foul would be called, and we'd have to restart the round. And the restart would look very similar to round 1. Athletes go into a hook. Artyom with a better stop here with more space above the pin pad, but here comes Revaz with a series of brutal hits, but Artyom still has that unbelievable stopping power right above the pin pad. Artyom would go on offense himself, getting Revaz pretty close to the pin pad, but not enough. Another surge, and you can see the hand starts to creep off the peg, which is a foul. The ref advising him not to do so, but it's too late. That's 2 fouls on Morozov. Round goes to Revaz. Round 2, and we are outside of the strap. Artyom this time is going to hit a big top roll and go right to the pin pad. Round number 3, Artyom thinks he's found his lane here and is going to hit another big top roll, but we get a foul on Revaz. On the restart, Artyom would show his technical range, this time shooting into a hook, dragging back, and another foul on Revaz. Round goes to Artyom. It's 2-1. Artyom needs this to win the match, hits a fast top roll, and gets the victory. So as you can see, we have lots of data and the trend is clearly going up. Add to that, as you heard in the beginning, Artyom is saying he will be in 60% better form against Levan than he was in that match we just reviewed against Revaz. Let us know in the comments how you think this one's going to go. I think it's fair to say that anybody is going to be an underdog against Levan, but does Artyom have the strength to put the brakes on the king of arm wrestling? Either way, it's exciting to see both Morozov and Levan on the table at East versus West.